All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of The Blind View here on Becca's World. Here's your host, Miss Rebecca Meadows.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you today? Thank you for joining us tonight on this exciting episode of The Blind View. We're doing it on Monday instead of Wednesday. Um, so thank you for being flexible for us. And right now it's just Anya and me, but hopefully Brandon will be joining us. How are you this evening, Anya?
I'm doing great. We had such a lovely day after having super cold weather. It's finally warming up, and it's super nice to be out compared to -8 degrees the other day. So,
Well,
Actually, guys, can you hear me?
there's
yay!
Brandon.
Yep,
Hi,
yep.
Bren.
Sorry, guys. Better late than never. Right? I apologize. I mean, perfection takes time. Okay, I'm sorry, but
We will
are
forgive you.
you guys are early. That's what it is. You guys are.
Yep, we will
No,
forgive you this time. Just this
no.
time, Bren.
No, in all seriousness, I apologize. I had put my phone on Do Not Disturb earlier today, and then I looked down and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So, anyway, it genuinely is good to be here with you guys. How
Well,
are
great.
you guys doing? I'm glad that it's warmer where you're at now,
Ye-
Anya. That's -8
Yeah, it was
still.
greatly interfering with our nightly walkings because we like to
So,
take walks, but not in that weather.
so
Yeah.
Anya, has it been unseasonably cold there all winter?
Not really unseasonally. I mean, last winter was milder for sure, but for my state, it's not unheard of to have some cold winters. And it doesn't stick all the time, It just comes for a week or something. This year, yeah, we had more cold days than before in my memory, but it doesn't mean ever. So,
Yeah, it seems to be like we've had a lot more cold days here in Arizona too than we usually do. Um,
Well, and Anya, you might have said in the previous episode, but remind me and all of us, did you guys have to deal with a lot of the heavy snow? Because I know a lot of people did.
yeah, we did have some heavy snow in January, and I think it was last week, I believe. We got quite a bit of snow too. So it was kind of, hard to get around. We had to park the car in a garage instead of outside like we used to doing. Um,
mm,
yeah, you have to be really good. That's what I don't like about snow. It's fun when it's there. It just indicates that you're in winter season. But man, do I not like walking in the snow because there could be some ice underneath. And you walk confidently, and next thing you know, you're on the ground. I don't like
so, Anya, are there parts of Ukraine where it snows a lot, or what kind of climate does Ukraine have?
Ukraine has very similar climate to where I live, which is Kansas. Very
Okay.
similar because it's prairie too.
Uh,
So I can't remember on top of my head like the altitude, but it's very similar.
how
To
large is Ukraine? Is it as large as the United States?
it's a lot smaller. I don't
Oh,
even know if somebody can look it up. I mean, it's the size of I don't know what's no, it's bigger than Texas, but it's not
okay.
very big. No.
So they have a continental climate somewhere, so they get like snow in the winter and sun in the summer.
Yeah, yeah. We have all
Oh,
four seasons, yeah. Pretty much
oh,
everywhere in each part of Ukraine.
okay.
Southern ones get a little bit warmer by the sea, but they still get some cold weather.
Oh, wow.
Well, and
Okay.
actually, let me ask you this, because I actually do have a segue here
Okay.
that I'm gonna make, but uh, in Ukraine, are you used to, or were you ever used to traveling by train a lot? That is one thing that interests me about Europe is that I realize coming from the U.S., the U.S. like overall is a big place. But like in Europe, it's very common for people to go from country to country even by train, right? Did you ever do that?
Oh yeah, it's very common. It's not just Ukraine; it's all over Europe.
Yeah.
The trains are very common. They have express trains. They have overnight trains. So when I went to blind school in Ukraine, and my family lived in a different part, so we didn't have blind school there. and I had to take the train from home to school, and it would take like 8 hours. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, so and imagine like every time I had to go to school and then come back for the break, then go back to school and come back for the break. So all
So
11 years.
Wow.
so you lived at school most of the time then, and you'd travel home on the weekends or something?
Not even on weekends, only for the break, like fall break, winter break, spring break, and
Mhm.
summer break. People
Yeah.
who lived closer, they would
Mhm.
go home for the weekend, or locals would go every day. But I was a little bit farther away, so
Yeah. How
uh,
many years did you do the blind school in Ukraine?
pretty much the entire schooling, like starting from first grade through the 12th grade, with the
Oh,
one exception of that year that I came to the US as an exchange student.
uh-huh.
Yeah, so pretty much 11
Oh.
years.
I only spent a year and a half at blind school after I went blind, and then they stuck me back in public school. So
See, that's something not come. They're trying to integrate that right now into the Ukrainian education system, but it's so raw. Like it's not even close culturally and professionally. It's not there. Like blind
uh,
kids or any kind of disabled kids, they are not very well received in schools. Let alone the
right.
VI teachers and all that stuff. We don't have that.
Oh, I'm not saying that I felt like they did a good thing for me and that I promote that in other countries. Personally, I was very upset with them. Like the first year after I was blind, they sent me back to public school and I had an aide that read everything to me. But then they sent me to the deaf and blind school the next year and I was there for a year and a half. But then when they sent me back to public school, I had absolutely no help. And I had no cane and I had no braille skills. And I failed miserably and it was terrible. And they were allegedly mainstreaming me, right? But you
Hmm.
can't really mainstream a blind student and not give them any tools or assistance, you know what I mean? They just basically stuck me there and pushed me through school each year until graduation. So
Yeah. Well, but in Ukraine, mainstreaming disabled kids is not even a thing. Like
yeah.
they don't do it. If you have a disability, you go to a special school. Like
Well,
So
that
when
is that is that is sad though, Becca. I was going to ask you, but then you answered my question. Did it ever get better in like middle school and high school? But no, it sounds like it did not.
it did not, because honestly, it was the same school building. K through 12 was in the same school building at my school. It was a very small school. And and because of that, I think they were able to fly under the radar and not they like the government didn't catch them like denying me services and denying me a fair education. Nobody was really around to notice it. Like in our county, there was no social services anywhere.
Uh
You
huh.
know what I mean? Like the Hill County seat was like 25 miles away. And they were so disconnected from me and my little situation. I was the only blind student in the whole school, in the whole school district. I was the only blind student of all the little towns that were involved in the school district even.
wow.
And so it was easy for them to say, "Oh, look what we're doing for her. We got her a talking calculator." And the first year she was here as a blind student, we got her an aid, you
Uh
know.
huh.
And and my parents were both high school dropouts. They didn't really understand, I think, what their rights were, what my rights were as a blind student. And so my parents didn't really enforce it. And I had a lot on my plate back then. I wasn't really able to stand up for myself in the to my teachers and to the school administrators because I was trying to deal with my brain injury back then that was at that point misdiagnosed and untreated. And so um but the fact that I was aware of it, that's really what saved my bacon because I didn't just sit around like a drooling idiot in the corner and do nothing like they expected me to do. I like once I started waking up from my coma, which took time, I was still comatose when I was going to school, so I was sleeping a lot at school. But once I started getting my stamina back a little bit and was able to stay awake, I was listening as hard as I could to try to remember as much as I could of the lessons, since I couldn't read or write anything. But it was
Mm.
just so hard. But the fact that I was able to pull it together and make something useful of my life, just tells me that there's a chance for everybody in America, right?
Well,
if they don't
there
grow
is,
up.
and it's so interesting. Like in some ways, your experiences, Becca, and mine are different, but in some ways they're similar. Yeah, because I too was the only blind guy in the whole district and stuff. But unlike you, I had more of a hybrid approach where they would have people come to the school, like cane travel trainers and stuff like that. I had what they call the resource office, where they would like take but they would make my materials accessible, right? Whether it be braille or audio recording or whatever. Um, so yeah, it's
So
interesting. But I
granted,
wanted to segue though, guys, and I'll just mention this because
okay,
if we want to go in a different order, but
okay.
talking about school and stuff. Have you guys heard they're trying to release a new version of COVID? Yet another new version of COVID?
Yeah, I
What?
heard that. I heard that.
Who's trying to release it?
Wuhan.
China.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
China is, yeah.
So why do you say that? Well, I haven't seen. I mean, honestly, I have not been watching the news much lately. I just don't have time. And when I do try to listen to it, my boyfriend is and I are on opposite sides, right? So he like I'll be listening to Newsmax, and like he'll come into the room, and I'll think, should I shut that off? I'll think, well, he doesn't seem to be really listening. Next thing I know, he's standing here telling me all the reasons why Trump's the bad guy, and
Nah.
and why Newsmax is like one sided and all kinds of crap, right? And and I'm like, and he's like, and how they're full of lies and all that crap. Because and it says he says this shit when they're talking about all the stuff that's happened to us in the last 4 years since Joe Biden was elected, right? And the other day I just got tired of it, and I told him, I said, "Do you know I lived through all of these last 4 years with Biden as president, as has everybody else, and you are in the minority, my friend." I said, there's a reason Trump won in a landslide because the
Yeah.
whole nation knows what was going on. You know what I mean?
Well, and it is interesting. I heard Brett Cooper. He's real popular right now. I heard Brett Cooper today saying kind of that whole thing about Gen Z, but now of course, the discussion is centered around, should we, the talking point on the left, especially the radical left, is they're using a chainsaw, they should be using a scalpel. But to Brett Cooper's point, apparently Gen Z, like, even though they might not always agree with using a chainsaw either, they mostly do, because they saw all of the glaring hypocrisy and inconsistency. So they're okay if we just blow it up and rebuild, like, metaphorically speaking, of course, so but yeah, I heard over the weekend that, and I just, the whole thing about COVID, no, I'm no fan of it. I don't even really care about it, but it's just, remember though, we've heard quotes in the past like, don't worry, there will be another outbreak, there will be, like they kind of knew, right? Like they'd already kind of pre-planned it. There will be.
Well, yes, but I tend to kind of take it easy at this point because, we were always thinking that before the election, oh, they're going to cook something up, they're going to concoct something to, mess with our elections, and nothing really happened. And then they were, before, a little bit before that, they were running with this monkeypox thing, pandemic. And it kind of went away on its own. So it may or may not be something big. I don't know.
That's true.
Anything is possible.
You
That's
know,
true.
if they do come back with another COVID virus and they try to lock us down again, I, for one, am not going to lock down. I
I'm not
barely
either.
locked down this last time, but I'm going to speak out about it this time. I'm going to try to make my voice be heard. I'm going to talk about it on my channel here. I'm going to get signs. I'm going to go out there and march. I'm going to make a spectacle of myself. I'm going to try to get myself on the news every day. I'm going to try to tell them, you fools, wake up. Don't let them steal your rights again. Don't let them make you stay at home. Don't let them make you not go to work, because we can't let them do that to us again.
No, I don't think it's gonna happen. I think too many forces are on our side at this point,
Yeah.
and people have been through this already. So how does it go? Fool me once,
I
shame
thought
on
it, you
me.
said it. Fool me once, shame on you.
Yeah,
Fool me
Fool me
twice,
twice.
shame on me.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think I don't know if they would even dare to pull it off, at least at the same extent. No, I doubt it.
I certainly hope that you're right, Anya. I'm not that worried about it either. I never got the clot shot, and I'm not gonna get the clot shot.
I never got any of those stupid vaccinations either.
I can't believe.
People are on like their 8th booster now.
Can you believe it? I can't believe these people. It's like they step right up and hold their arm. Here, I volunteer to be a human guinea pig.
Oh no!
How many doses do you want me to have in my lifetime? I'll have as many as you want me to have. It's crazy.
It is.
Well, guys, believe it
is.
or not, but through my job, I know that some places still offer that. I mean,
Oh
that's
my
insane.
God.
Like, after everything what we have learned about these so-called vaccines, all these side effects or all this craziness around them, and they still
And
offer them.
And now that we know that the China virus wasn't as fatal as they claimed, you know what I mean? And that it's actually quite survivable if you're a healthy person. All the healthy people who ran out and got those vaccines and then it ruined their health and made their immune systems weaker and stuff. It just makes me so sad to think about all those fools that ran out there and got those vaccinations like that and then paid for it later, you know.
Yeah,
Well,
we
now
really.
I do think that the very first strain was the most virulent. But now I mean, so again, especially if somebody had a lot of comorbidities, that's kind of a different story. But after that first round, though, which I survived
But
just
you
fine.
know what, Brandon, you brought this point up and said that you heard that China's making another COVID virus. And that
Oh,
pisses me
yeah?
off. Somebody needs to take out and destroy that wet market over there and that laboratory where they're doing all this shit. Because this can't happen to the world again.
No, I agree.
Honestly, listen, you know how Trump does stuff like surgically? He does stuff surgically.
That's what they say you should do.
I'm hoping President Trump is very smart and he remembers everything, right? I'm sure he has it in the back of his mind that he needs to take care of that wet market and that lab over there in China, because I think the United States are the only ones who are going to be able to take care of it, really.
Need to take care of China in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
They're they're trying to steal all of our patents and all of our intel. Yeah, we need to take care of China in a lot of different dimensions.
Yeah, but it's really important to me that we not let them do this to the world again. And so I'm really hoping and praying that the United States government is on top of it.
Well, I hope so too. I just saw something on, what day was that? Saturday, I think. Yeah, I think it was Saturday. And I was just like, oh my gosh. But they do say this one is based on bird flu, so I don't know what they're doing over there. I have no idea. I just say kind of like what Anya said, take walks, eat some chicken soup. Like it's I'm so done with.
Yeah, and then one of those craziest things where that they wanted you to stay home at all times, even in the summertime, where you need vitamin D the most.
Yeah.
The most. You have to be outside. And I was so perplexed by the compliance that was coming from people. At the time I worked with a lot of people from New York, and I had to serve calls from the what is it called? Health and hospitals, New York Health and Hospitals. So they literally called people every day, those who were quarantining. They would call those people and ask a bunch of questions, like a check-in call. They would ask if you had any symptoms, have you left your house, Yeah, I can continue telling you guys after we come back from the break, but it was something crazy.
All right.
Hi, it's me, Rebecca S. Meadows, the author, with my new book, Living on Borrowed Time, The Ravings of an Angry Survivor of Traumatic Brain Injury and Guardianship Abuse. It's available on Kindle Digital Download, Amazon Print on Demand, and on Audible. Please go check it out. And now, back to the show.
Whoa.
And
Okay,
we're
ladies
back,
and gentlemen.
Sorry, Beck. I was going to tell you, Patrick commented on YouTube. I don't know what it means, face fuchsia flower shape. So it must be an emoji that it can't translate.
Okay, so thank you, Patrick, for watching and for being one of our favorite viewers. Anyway, sorry guys, I had to go shut my bedroom door because the dogs were barking. I think it was disrupting the show, so I'm back now.
Good.
I came back when the commercial was going on. So what were you guys talking about before the commercial hit? Because
Well, I was telling you guys how it was done in New York, like during the lockdown in New York. Like COVID. Yeah, and I was telling you guys that how crazy it was that and how compliant people were. I mean, I would have hung up the phone and tell them to do themselves or something, you know? Yeah, but they call and then these people just answering all these questions. The intake interview would take like 45 minutes. They ask you a bunch of questions about your relatives, about it's so freaking intrusive. I couldn't believe people were putting up with that. And some idiots, citizens that is, they would ask some person who's calling, not even medical worker, just somebody who was given a script, and then they ask him, is it okay to step outside? I just wanted to walk a little bit and to breathe some fresh air. Like, well, you probably better stay because you've been in contact with somebody who has COVID. Not even sick with COVID, but you just were in contact. And I'm saying that, what the hell is wrong with you? Why even asking that question? Screw them. Just go outside and get some fresh air. Nobody has the right to tell you.
Well, and even sadly, even churches, I think we saw how emotionally and mentally and spiritually weak a lot of pastors even are.
Oh yeah.
But I do kind of wonder. I saw something the other day as well, and it's like, remember in a previous episode, I kind of floated the idea that we have to be careful, people like me who do lean more right than left, that we don't engage in too much cancel culture ourselves. But I mean, again, like, because it goes to the point, like, I'm gonna pick a very well-known company here, Bud Light. We all remember we all remember Bud Light. But here's what they say, China does. Bud Light, to their very limited credit, has been trying to pivot. They have been trying. I mean, they realize their mistake. I do think they realize it. But I'm very, very hopeful that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. does something, because here apparently is the problem with some companies, and I wonder if this is true to some extent with pastors as well. They say these companies, they've I'm going to word it like this to be optimistic. They've done what they've done because their economics are so fuzzy and upside down, right, that they couldn't not do other than what they did. Otherwise, they could go out of business, you know what I mean? Because they're so heavily subsidized that they can't, you know what I mean? So they can't run their business because, basically they'll lose their funding, or they'll lose their suppliers or whatever. And so, but again, that kind of speaks to my point. I don't like what Bud Light did or Disney did either, but I don't think that Walter Disney would have done what modern Disney has done. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the original founders of Budweiser beer would have done so. But for
But
example, Budweiser is made with rice, right? It's a rice beer. So, what country do we get a lot of our rice from? And it's like if you buck the trend too much, that country's just going to say, nope, we're not sending you any more rice anymore.
Are you sure we get our rice from China, or do we grow it right here in the United States?
Well, I don't know. I asked the question, what country do we get a lot?
Gino, would you be able to look it up for us and find out where we get our rice from? Because I'm pretty sure we grow it here in the United States. I don't think it's hard to grow rice.
I don't
hope
either,
they're not
but I
getting
think
it from
it's
China.
probably
That
a
would be
lot.
so wrong.
No, but it's probably a lot cheaper to get it there, though, which is why they've done it. And now that they've done it, if we wanted to switch to American-grown rice.
Well, dude, I'm glad I don't eat rice if the rice in the stores is from China, because I don't trust it. Honestly, I haven't hardly eaten any Chinese food
I
since all this stuff
actually
happened.
have an answer for you.
Okay, what's the answer, Gino?
About 7% of rice is imported, while the rest is grown within the country. So, Brandon, you
Yeah.
correct.
So they probably do get. Well, then I don't know why they went woke.
7% is not a huge amount.
Right.
yeah.
No, it's not. It's not. So I don't know why they went so woke, but they sure did.
Well,
and I think they
part of it
realize
is
they are
virtue
now,
signaling.
but-
Virtue signaling, I guess. Just...
Yeah, but they were one of the worst, man. They went all in.
I don't drink their piss
national
anyway.
ads, huh?
I said I don't drink their piss anyway. I don't like.
Yeah. Actually, when I used to drink beer, Bud is the only beer I drank.
No, I don't. I prefer local breweries mostly. It's every state has something. Every town has something different.
Well, I don't like light beer. And
I don't either. If I'm consuming all those calories, I might as well get something out of
the
it.
Alcohol with it. Yeah, that's my thinking too.
Well, and to our point now here in 2025, again, I think they learned their lesson, man. I just remember, they literally couldn't sell Bud Light for a while because even back then we were like, no, this is a bridge too far. No.
So are people buying Bud again? Are people buying Budweiser again though?
Oh, I think they are, yeah. Because Dana White, the CEO of the UFC, he did a big deal with them, and I think people are starting to buy it again, which again, that's okay because they were an American company. I don't know how much corporate capture they have, but that's what RFK Jr. says. All these, it's like we're paying wolves to watch the hen house, but they're wolves. Okay, there's something wrong here. Why are we doing this?
Yeah. Do you guys it's on the same topic almost, but food related. But how much do eggs cost where you are?
We were just talking about that this morning. I think they're. Do I want to say $19 a carton? I think I heard.
Oh my!
19?
Yeah, I think that's what I heard. It was 19.
No, I think it's too high.
Gosh.
The highest I heard.
Maybe Gino can look it up for us. Some local egg prices.
I can tell you, I did not pay $19 this week for eggs. The only thing is they're limiting how many cartons you can buy.
How much were eggs when you went and got them, Gino?
They were a little bit more expensive than they normally are. I think it was like $8 or $9 a carton. So
I did see $11 and $12. It's like, my gosh, that's crazy, man.
The average price right now, according to the AI Google, is $4.95 a carton in the U.S. So certain places, I think, geographically are they're gouging people. I don't blame that on anybody but opportunism of the market. They know that there's a shortage. It's called supply and demand. This happens all the time.
But you
Yeah.
know how they killed all those chickens? It makes me think about going and getting my own chicken coop. When I lived in Missoula, I had friends who actually had bought their own chicken coops, right? So they could get their own eggs. And back then, I thought they were crazy going through all the work of having a chicken coop and all the mess. But I love eggs. And if it turns out that eggs get too expensive, I'm actually considering getting my own chicken coop.
But who's gonna take care of it? Are you ready to take care of it?
Well, I that's something I got to figure out. My boyfriend would probably do it with me because he's really into stuff like that. You know, I should tell you about my boyfriend. He used to live in Oregon and he had some farmland up there, and he was raising ducks and rabbits and all kinds of animals, turkeys and chickens, and having a great time with it. So he'd probably help me raise some chickens. I'm just trying to figure out where I want to put my chicken coop if I get one, because at my house, most of my backyard's taken up with the pool and the jacuzzi. But over at the other house where my parents live, the whole front yard and backyard are fenced, and there's no pool or jacuzzi. It's just landscaped. So I could probably put maybe several chicken coops in my parents' backyard and start raising chickens and having eggs.
Do you think they'll be pleased with that idea if you told them?
No, not at all. Which is why it's still just a notion in my head.
Mm.
Hey, let me tell you an idea that you might or might not be pleased with. No backhand. This goes to anybody similarly situated that has a pool. Do you guys know? It's so cool. I found this app called Swimply, like Simply, but it's Swimply,
Yeah.
and people can put their pools on there and let people come over and swim and make money that way.
Oh, I've always wanted to rent my pool out.
Yeah, there's an app called Swimply.
Is it SWIMPLY then?
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
Oh,
And I
thank
just
you.
think as a consumer, as a user of the app, it's really cool. It's like having a bunch of friends with private pools. It's like, oh wow.
I think what a great
Cool.
idea. I've been trying to figure out how to rent out my pool, but that's a
Yeah.
great idea.
Yeah. So
Yeah, because
um,
I pay for it every month, the maintenance on it, and I never used it. I used it once the first year I moved in 2015, and then I used it once the year after I left my husband, but I haven't used it since. And
Why not?
yeah, because I when I first moved in, I thought, oh, I can swim for exercise, right? But I don't swim for exercise. I have a treadmill. I have a punching bag. I just got a bench to do crunches on. I have several weights. That's what I use to work out. I never take time to get in the pool because most of the year,
Oh.
I acclimated here to the climate pretty quickly. And like in the wintertime, it's too cold for me to get in the pool, So
I would be
it
living there if I had a pool.
Oh, my sister Brandy up in Montana would, I bet, because oh my gosh, my sister Brandy, I haven't seen her in a long time, but let me tell you, when we were kids, Brandy swam like a fish. I remember when I could see and I would look into the swimming pool when we were at the swimming pool because we had they had like an Olympics, well, maybe not Olympic size, but it was like an underground swimming pool up at the old school in Hingham where we were growing up. And so in the summer, they'd open up the old school and let kids in there to go swimming. And I remember when we used to go swimming up there, and I'd look at my sister Brandy swimming. She swam under the water for long distances, and she'd have both her arms go in and her legs going, and she had her eyes open too, dude. She'd swim with her eyes open. My sister was so totally acclimated to the water. I was
used to
so
do that
jealous
too,
of
and I
her.
still can do that actually.
Oh, really?
Swim underwater like that, like from one end
Oh
of the
yeah,
pool
me
to the other.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But you said you were planning to do exercises, like to swim for exercise, but how
Yeah, that's
big is it?
well, I have a wading pool. You can't dive into it, but it's big enough for several people. But the thing is, I just have all these other forms of exercise that I prefer to do that are a lot easier. Like if I'm going to swim in my pool, for one thing, I got to go find my swimming suit. I'm not even sure if I have a suit right now. But if I do, I have to go find my suit, and then I have to get towels and shit. And I don't like swimming by myself because it gets boring really quick because I don't even have music piped out to my backyard, right? That I could listen to. So, like I'd have to find someone to go swimming with me, like my boyfriend, because he'd probably be fun to go swimming with, because I could talk to him and visit with him. But I get really bored if I'm out in the pool by myself and there's no one to talk to, not even any music to listen to.
That would I agree with. Yeah, it has
Yeah,
to be somebody, or you can pour yourself a glass of wine and come down there and
yeah,
just chill in the
yeah,
pool. I would like that too.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
If I had someone to visit with out there, maybe, and not champagne, but maybe like some Fireball. In fact, maybe I'll suggest that to Patrick, that we can. We've pretty much been doing that anyway, sitting on the veranda in the evening smoking, and we could drink some Fireball because we've been having drinks occasionally too. But
I'm just
Yeah.
excited that winter is almost over, and I love the weather outside. Like today, it was gorgeous, and
yeah,
I like that app because it did actually save me from having to get like a gym membership mainly just for the pool. You know what I mean? Like, because that's what we were interested in.
so did you find somebody with a pool near you guys?
Oh yeah, we went 2 or 3 times last summer. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Okay, so so when you go on the Swimply app and then you find a place you want to go use their pool, how does it work? It's in the backyard, so do you go knock on the front door?
No, where we went, the people would always just tell us like, oh, the key is here, or the key is there, or we'll leave the key in the lockbox. Here's the code for the lockbox.
Oh wow, that's some
So
security bridge.
they weren't home when you went and used their pool?
I mean, of course, we don't really know. Like sometimes there would, sometimes there wouldn't be vehicles in the driveway, but we don't know. It could be the
So you
kid's
just
vehicle
go. So you
or-
just go in the backyard through the gate and use
Yeah,
their pool.
yeah,
so-
sure.
Okay, well,
And do
And
they
it
have
was-
rules like, okay, no glass, no something?
Yes, they do. Swimply does. Yes,
and
do.
you probably have rules like no alcohol around the pool, and
No peeing in the pool?
no peeing in the pool.
Well, the alcohol, that's up to the host. They do say no drugs, no weapons, like actual
Uh-huh.
weapons.
Mhm.
They strongly discourage running. So
And so, how much does it? I don't know. Maybe I should just look at Swimply and see what it's all about. Because I would love to rent out my pool.
yeah, I
Gosh,
mean,
it
how much
costs me
does it
so
cost?
much
It depends.
money.
It depends on each person on the app. Because
Right.
some of them have like more amenities. Yeah, like you mentioned, like some of the pools have diving boards and slides. But some of them do not. So yeah, it just
Yeah.
all depends on what the hosts set.
Yeah.
What about the liability? I mean, it puts some liability on the hosting party, right? What if
Yeah,
you drown?
does the Swimply app address liability?
Well, I don't know. I've never tried to be a host because I didn't care about that. You know what I mean? We don't have a pool, so I don't know.
But do you need to sign some waiver or something before you go?
Yes, you do have to sign a waiver saying, basically, hey, this is an agreement between you and the host. And of course, I don't remember what all the T's and C's said, although I am the kind of guy I probably did read them initially.
Well,
I just thought it was cool. We could have access to a pool at any time, basically.
And
Well,
then
I'm gonna
how do
look
you
into that.
pay per hour, or you're in for the
Yeah.
whole day?
Well, I think you can book for like the whole day if you have a group, but we just usually did it like for an hour, sometimes 2 hours, because it was just my immediate family.
Right. And they have like some kind of lounge chairs or something to chill.
Yeah, all of our hosts did. And we never took food or whatever because we were just thinking like, well, we're going to be hungry when we get done, so we'll just go swim and have fun, and then we'll just figure something else out for dinner.
Wow, that sounds fun. I wonder if it's only local app or something, because I would check it out.
I don't know, but and then I'll tell you guys something else. There's another app called Turo. And I know that, a lot of blind people don't have vehicles, but if for whatever reason you do, you can rent those out too. And we're actually doing that right now. Our van's
How do you
actually stopped right now.
How do you spell Turo?
Just Turo.
Okay, and that's for renting out your own personal vehicle?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like if there's a lot of time when you're like, let's say on your weekend, right? You're like, oh, it's the weekend. I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to chill, Okay, well, make the vehicle available on Turo, and then all throughout the week, just don't make it available. But
Yeah, I would not trust that. What if they wreck your
Yeah.
car?
Well, right,
Yeah.
right. There, I mean, there is that. There is, and I think Turo does provide, their insurance plus your own insurance. So, right, there is a risk, but if you want some help making that car payment,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we're doing it right now because our van's in the shop, and it was quicker and easier than doing a rental car. So,
And is it cheaper than a rental car too?
it's about the same. What are we doing a day? I think it's like 45. We're doing like 45 a day, and we just have a little. What is it that we have? A Buick Encore. There we go. So we're paying like 40, $50 a day. So it's, I would say it's competitive with a rental car company, but a lot less red tape. You don't have to pay with a credit card, and it's not like the ID and license of the person paying has to be the same as the driver, and because that's always a wrinkle for Christy and I when we use Avis or Dollar or Budget or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I'm paying for it, but they'll never give me a driver's license. Okay, she's the licensed driver. I'm the guy paying the money for the vehicle. So
I've dealt with the same thing many times.
Yeah. It's just so Turo was just just as quicker and easier. So
That's so cool. You have you know about so many cool apps. I hardly look at the apps at all. I found out today, I saw on Facebook somebody was talking about an app. I can't remember the name of it now, but it has something to do with a virtual assistant that you can hire. Like it can be somebody from Philippines or from any place, and they do work for you. Like it's a combination of Ira and I don't know, AI some sort. So you basically hire that person, and let's say you need to do some computer work, and you can assign them a task, and it's gonna anything, do some editing for you, or to read something to you, like anything what you can do virtually, that they can help you. That's
kind of cool. Now
yeah.
I wonder if that would save you any money off, as compared with something like Ira. I don't know, maybe, but yeah, like anything inaccessible comes to mind.
Are either of you using Ira still?
I never have.
Oh,
Brandon,
yeah, I think there are people that do use it.
Oh yeah, there are plenty of people. Yeah.
Brandon, do you use Ira?
So I have used Ira, but I've never paid them money. Because I found out about Be My Eyes before I found Ira.
Yeah, me too.
So I think Be My Eyes is extremely competitive with Ira. They're not exactly the same, but they are extremely competitive with Ira, and there's no cost. Now, again, they can't do everything that an Ira agent can do, but for me, that's not a problem. But now I am thinking, though, of all of the hardworking blind people that do work in industries that might, be a little bit harder. Like if you work in the legal industry or the finance industry or the medical industry, where you have inaccessible hard copy stuff.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Why don't they have blind people sections at sporting events? Why do I gotta pay the same price to not see shit? Okay? The Jumbotron ain't even built for me.
I am the business manager here at the Visually Impaired School of Arizona.
I see you brought the film crew. Make sure you get my good side.
All right, settle down and get focused on your tasks.
I teach the art of cuisine, child.
You wanna know what the problem, the biggest problem in the blind community? It's you sighted people.
Just take your look over here.
Yeah, I don't know where that is, man.
Okay, you all need to turn off those cameras and just leave the building.
Wait, Joe, hold on.
Oh, on your right.
You're on the right.
How would you know that the men you're dating are black?
No, this is not card member services. This is the Visually Impaired School of Arizona.
Gigi, where are his pants?
I don't know.
Billy doesn't f***ing work here. He basically came with the building.
I can be the very first mayor of Blind Sylvania.
Make blind America great again.
There goes my pie.
This happens every day?
No,
Sometimes.
of course not.
All right.
Okay.
We are back, guys, and that, of course, was the little commercial for Don't Look Now.
Is Anya with us?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Guys, I wanted to tell you what Patrick did today. So this morning we decided we needed to change our sheets. Now
What
remember,
an opener.
I still have. Well, I wanted to talk to you about it before the commercial break, but then the commercial break hit, so that's why I'm kind of starting now.
No, it's
But,
fine. I just, it's going to be interesting when the lady says, guys, I just got to tell you what's so good.
So I wanted to remind you guys that right now I have this king size sleep number bed, and it's a split bed, right? It's actually two super long twins side by side. And
Okay.
so when you change the sheets, you don't use one large fitted sheet for the mattress. You use two smaller fitted sheets for the mattress. Because it's actually a split mattress. And then there's one top sheet, right? And then the bedspread and stuff. So Patrick set out this morning to change the bedding. And he opened up this new package of sheets.
Okay.
And before he got started, I said, honey, do you need my help? And he's like, no, I've got this. I'm a genius. I can do anything.
Okay. I like the confidence. Okay.
Changing the sheets on a split bed. It was a little more complicated than he anticipated. But he finally accomplished his task. And he was so proud of how beautiful the bed looked. He took a picture of it.
Okay.
And I was laughing, well, mostly just watching him make the bed, right? It was really funny. But then when he felt like he needed to take a picture of it when he was done, I thought, oh, that's so cute.
Well,
Now,
surprise for him.
I thought you were going to say he put him on upside down or something, but no.
Well, I heard him talking to himself as he was opening up the sheet set and then trying to figure out what piece went where, and like he apparently was putting, because the sheets are kind of different, right? The small sheets, that because they're half the fitted sheets, that go on the two mattresses. They're not like big king size fitted sheets. They're different. And so I heard him mumbling under his breath as he's doing it. He'd say things like, okay, so wait, I got to turn it. That's the long end. Okay. And he's saying stuff like that as he was putting the sheets on, and he was getting frustrated at times. You know what I mean? And that's why I was sitting here listening to him talking to himself while he was doing it. And it was just really cute watching him do it. You know what I mean? And when he got done, I mean, the idea of taking a picture of a bed you just made, it was just really cute. And I love my boyfriend. He is so adorable everything he does. I was telling you.
Do you like your sleep number bed? I know they're popular. My dad has one.
Oh, so I really like it. It's like sleeping on, like when I'm out of town for a few days and I'm sleeping on a hotel bed, like my body is aching and wanting my sleep number bed right by the time I get home.
So do you think they're worth it? Okay.
Oh, they are, but I don't know. I think I mentioned on last week's show, my boyfriend and we went and bought a new bed, and they're delivering it this Friday, and it's a full-size king-size mattress. It doesn't have a split down the middle like this one does. But I'm hoping that honestly, we didn't really pay attention to what kind of mattress we were getting, but we did lay on it for a few minutes. I'm hoping that this mattress on this new bed turns out to be good. I might have to invest in like a mattress that's designed for people with bad backs. You know what I mean? Because it occurred to me actually just now while I was talking about it that I didn't really take my seriously bad back into consideration when we were buying the bed. So I'll have to see how I do on our new mattress. I just might have to get a better mattress eventually.
Well, you might have to give it some time because the first few nights is going to be unusual just because it's new. So
right.
You have to.
Yeah. But Patrick and I are both looking forward to getting our new bed on Friday.
And what are you gonna do with the old one?
Well, I don't know. My Sleep Number bed, I paid like a lot of money for it, but I don't really want to sell it. You know what I mean? In case this new bed doesn't work out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my whole body hurts. I got to get back into my Sleep Number bed. You know.
What is it called? Sleep what? Sleep member?
It's called Sleep Number.
Okay.
Because people have their own like personal sleep numbers, right? Like you can set it, I think, or something.
Yeah. So the sleep number goes from 0 to 100, and every time you increase it, it goes up by 5 or 10 numbers. I don't remember because I haven't adjusted my sleep number in a long time. And it gets firmer the higher the number because it puts more air into the mattress. And let me tell you, my sleep number is usually 90 or 95 because I like a really firm mattress.
I got you. No, I was just saying, boy, that is a lot of customizability. You can make it as like soft or as firm as you want, pretty much. Wow, 0 to 100.
Now let me tell you, my ex-husband, he liked his side really soft. So when we were together, like my side of the bed, like I said, it was really stiff, like a board, right? But his side, there was always a huge pit where he slept because his side was so soft, and it would just leave this big pit where he would lay every night. and so like the dog would sleep in the pit, during the day when Randy was gone or whatever. What was the other thing I was going to tell you about the Sleep Number bed? Oh, another thing about the Sleep Number bed, not only can you adjust the comfort level, like the firmness of the mattress, but you can also like raise, like if you want to elevate your feet for one reason or another, like a couple years ago when my feet swelled up really bad, I was so thankful that I was able to like elevate my feet on my Sleep Number bed. You know what I mean? Because you can elevate your feet or your head, and you like your partner doesn't have to have his feet or head elevated like you do, because he has his own controls for his side.
Wow, I never heard of that. I mean, the only bed with adjustments that I heard of was hospital bed, but it's definitely not that.
It's much nicer than a hospital bed, but I started like my first Sleep Number I got back in. Let's see, I was in my first car accident in 2000, and it was after my second car accident I think my second car accident was in 2002. So it was after my second car accident that I got my first Sleep Number bed, and I've been in 2 other car accidents since then, and I've moved houses, so I've had to get new beds. But yeah, this is the best one that I've had, this king size one. It's so awesome. But like I said, it's not working for my boyfriend and me because one of us is always falling in the crack in the center of the bed. Alexa, stop. And it's not like, I mean, it's not like you fall through all the way because it's a very narrow crack, but it just makes it awkward when you're trying to be with somebody in bed,
Do they all come that way, or you can buy?
So you can buy a queen size Sleep Number bed that doesn't have the split down the middle, but I think all of their king size beds have a split down the middle.
Huh? I wonder why that is.
It's because so their twin beds are called extra long twins, and so when they made their king size bed, they just took 2 of their extra long twins and put them side by side, and so each partner can control their mattress independent of each other. So
I would say sleep is really important, and I'm great friends with Sleep. Sleep and I are like man, are good friends, and like I don't know, therefore, what it's like to not be able to sleep. But a lot of people I know, a lot of my friends are like, man, if you could sell that ability of yours, Brandon, you'd be a rich man. And I'm like, man, I know, I wish I could. Like, so but really though, like I can't imagine what it would be like to go through life with very poor quality sleep. What
do you guys have? What do you guys have for a pillow?
So we have some regular pillows, and then I also have a sleep number pillow, which is very firm. Like I have arthritis in my neck from my 4 car accidents, and so I can't let my neck hang limp at all. Like if I let my head hang, it pulls on my neck and makes my arthritis flare up in my neck. So I use my sleep number pillow when I sleep on my side to support my neck so it doesn't hang too low and cause my arthritis to flare up.
Mm-hmm. I use my pillow, and
What do you think of that? Do you like
well,
it? Or is
I
it kind of
love it.
all
Yeah,
you do? You really
we
do?
both have my pillow. Yeah, well, part of the reason we got it because of the guy who runs the company, and he is very conservative, and he is, you know, very good. So I wanted to support his business.
Are
But
you talking about the My Pillow guy?
yeah,
Oh yeah, Mike Lindell, right?
Mike
yes,
Lindell,
Oh,
yeah.
but it's not just about his views that I like to support, but the quality of the pillow is pretty good. I
You
think
do
we have,
like it?
yeah, we have king size bed, so we each have king size pillow and queen size pillow. I don't know how it worked out, but it's just the way it is.
I have some My Pillow, my slippers. You know what I mean? I have some of the slippers that Mike Lindell created, but I don't think I've ever bought any of his pillows or his sheet and towel sets that he has now. Dude, I remember back 20 years ago, right? When Mike Lindell, because after September 11th, 2001 was when I started watching the news, right? I never had really watched the news before that. And I started by watching Fox News, and I watched Fox News all the time back then. And Mike Lindell started advertising his pillows way back then, right after September 11th. And here 20 plus years later he's still advertising them, and his country must have, or his company must have become successful over these last 2 decades, because like I said, he's still doing it, and he's got so many more products. It started out with just My Pillow. Now he has sheets, towels, and slippers, and all kinds of other stuff probably too.
Yeah, but you know what though? He's been through the ringer though.
Oh yeah, poor guy.
Especially 2020 COVID era onward.
No, even during Trump 1.0, he was being canceled. People were trying to get him canceled for support.
It's because he's conservative.
Yeah,
we all
exactly.
face that stuff. So
yeah. Well, I didn't know they have like slippers and stuff.
there was a move to try to cancel us when we got started back in 2000 or in 2020, when we started doing our show here on the Blind View here on Becca's World. There was a movement to try to get us canceled because there were a lot of people in the blind community, I think, who were jealous of our success, and they were bad mouthing us and trying to get us shut down, and it was really ridiculous.
Well, I'm glad that did not succeed.
Well, it did. Remember, they got kicked off the platform.
We got kicked off of YouTube.
But that was later, though, right?
Yeah, and a lot of people got kicked off of YouTube. But not only were we dealing with all of the crap because we were talking about Trump, so we were dealing with blowback from YouTube all the time, but we were also getting a lot of blowback from our friends in the blind community, and it's been really ridiculous. So.
Yeah, did you get like nasty comments, or how do you know?
Oh yeah, nasty comments, and I've had people that I thought were friends of mine just say some really cruel and out of touch stuff. You know what I mean? And they're not. And when they say stuff, it's just obvious that they're not really even watching our show. They just heard that we're doing something, and they're just jealous that they don't have anything to do, or they can't think outside the box and get something going, I guess.
I wish I had a soundbite ready back then when you.
What?
Oh my God! When you said that, just some very what did you say? Cruel and out of touch stuff. Yeah, radical left party right now. Right now.
That's
literally
exactly.
Right.
A lot of blind people are leftists, and they don't like what we're doing. So
even if they're not blind, man, they're just crazy. They're just crazy.
You know what though? It has surprised me. There's actually been a lot of my blind friends just all over the country who, in the last 4 years, they've confided in me that they're actually Trump supporters.
Yeah, but there's whole cities now though that are they hear that ICE is coming, and they're like, "Oh, hey, get out now, guys! ICE is coming! Go out that door! Go out that other door!"
Oh yeah.
You know, they're actively interfering with the work of immigration and customs enforcement. Like,
Yeah.
entire cities, entire mayors of entire cities. It's like, oh, you're gonna regret that. You are gonna regret that.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid.
What did Tom Holman say? I'm coming to Boston, and I'm ellipsis.
Yeah, I'm just glad that
You know what he said, guys. You know what he's. If you don't know what he said, look up what he said. I think Boston is about to get a very, profound wake up call.
Yeah.
Oh, and in Boston, Boston being a very, very liberal city, not just a liberal city, but very liberal city.
Yeah. Well,
I think you can expect some apoplexy out of Boston over the coming week or so.
well, they must comply. I mean, I don't know what they're thinking. Of course they're gonna put all the, try to put all the stop to anything what's happening because it's Trump. But if we have good people on the team, they should make them follow the law.
Well, and it's just you see all these people complaining that about Elon Musk being an unelected whatever. I mean, I could pull from any number of sound bites.
Guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, because I knocked my microphone over and I thought I might have muted it in the process of getting it set back up. So I just want to check.
No, you sound very good.
You're mad at those cities, aren't you?
No.
Tell people Brandon made me so mad by what he told me. I just knocked the mic down. I just forget the mic drop. This was a mic knock. I just got so angry and I just.
No. Well, you know what it's like. I'm sure you guys know what it's like. When your hands around and you're knocking stuff over that you can't see. It's frustrating as all get out. So.
Oh, that is, yeah. That.
No, that happens.
No, I'm trying to give you a way to save face though, and I've been known to be a little bit of an instigator. I have. We will not comply. You try to lock us up and shut us down again. I will not comply, and I will actively encourage you all not to either. Haven't we done this before? Don't we know how this ends? Nothing good is going to come of this if they try to, vax us up and shoot us up and lock us down again. I'm not doing it. I didn't do it then. I won't do it now.
No, like I said earlier, I don't think it's plausible to even consider that. I don't think it's gonna get that close.
Hey guys, guess what I had Friday evening for the first time in my life?
And what is it? Do tell.
I had a 5-hour energy drink.
Oh,
what's that?
I've never drank these things because A, I didn't know what they would taste like. I was kind of scared what they taste like. And B, I didn't know if it'd be even good for me. But I drank one Friday night because my boyfriend and I were going to go on a drive. And I didn't know exactly what he had planned, but he just handed it to me. He said, here, drink this. And I said, what is it? And he said, it's a 5-hour energy. So I drank it. And I have to tell you guys, he had me drink it because he knows I fall asleep. I mean, I think it's from the coma I was in when I was a kid, but I fall asleep easy and it's hard for me to stay awake really late. And so I drank this 5-hour energy thing. It was about 10 o'clock Friday night. Did you know I didn't go to sleep until like 6 o'clock Saturday.
In the morning?
6 o'clock Saturday evening.
Oh my God.
Because and I felt great too. I thought I'd feel like my heart was racing, and I thought that I'd feel drug out, like when you eat too much sugar and you have a lot of energy at first, but then you feel tired and run down. Oh no, I felt great the whole time, and it was fabulous, honestly.
Well, it can't be good if it keeps you up that long.
Well, it's not that it kept me up. It's like where I normally would have been sleeping, I was able to do things. You know what I mean? I believe I probably still could have, because I can go to sleep in any situation ever since I woke up from that coma when I was a kid. And I still felt kind of tired. So I probably could have gone to sleep had I laid down. But it was like I had energy to do stuff. And I haven't had that kind of energy in quite a while, so it was really cool.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not a consumer of energy drinks. I never have been.
Mhm.
I have had them though in the past, like kind of like what you're saying, Becca, just to kind of try
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but hey, we all have our vices, right? And you could be doing stuff a lot worse than 5-hour energy.
Right. Well, so now that I've
So-
tried, like I've said, I've never tried any of these energy drinks in my life because I was kind of scared of what they do to my heart. But now that I tried one and I know how great it was, I think I'm gonna keep some on hand for nights when Patrick and I are going out, or nights when I need to do stuff with Gino. Because, my gosh, like when we go to these film festivals, I get so tired. I cannot stay up. You know what I mean? And participate till all hours of the night like everybody else does. But if I take one of these 5-hour energy drinks before one of those, I'll be able to participate with everybody and have a great time.
Yeah.
and
Well, just for
feel
those.
good, you said.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, if you don't abuse it, just do it when
Right.
necessary. Because I really don't think if you do it too often, it's not a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. There are studies. I know there are studies. Back when I was working with the Air Force, I know they were studying it even back then. So I don't know what the data says, because that's not something that I follow. But I think there is data though out there.
Yeah, and like I said, I expected it to make my heart race and give me energy like that, but it really didn't. I didn't feel like any of that was going on. I just felt like I was able to get up and move and exercise and and gosh, we drove all the way to Casa Grande on Friday night, and hung out there most of Saturday and came back on Sunday. So we had a good time.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm pretty thrilled that I discovered these 5-hour energy drinks because I'll be able to participate now when I go to these film festivals better.
Oh, sounds good.
Well, that
Yeah.
is indeed good, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
So I don't know. Sitting here thinking if there's anything else major that I've noticed that I would like to discuss. I don't think anything though that I haven't already previously said. Although, let me just take a poll of you all really quick. So they're continuing to talk about. Do you think we're going to get the Doge dividends, or do you think it's all just hot air?
So are they really talking about that?
Yes, they really are.
I haven't been watching the news much, but I remember when they suggested that, and I thought, oh, there's no way that they will do that.
Oh, I hope they do it.
Oh, it would be nice, and I believe it would help so many people, and it would really help stimulate our economy if everybody got that much money. Holy cow! Yeah, it would really stimulate our economy.
Well, I don't know. I rode with a Lyft driver recently. Like, that's just a bunch of hot air. That's just a bunch of drivel. And I said, okay.
Well, I don't know. I believe I believe President Trump really cares about America and cares about the citizenry, and I really believe President Trump, it's not in his mind or his desire to squander our money anymore, right? I really believe President Trump and Elon Musk are trying to save us money, and if they're going to save us money, what else are they going to do with it once all our other bills are paid, other than give it back to the American people? So
you mean you don't think we should be spending it on hamster fights?
No, I don't think we should be spending on hamster fights. And once
we have done that. Our taxpayer money has been used for that purpose.
Oh, it's been used. Our taxpayer dollars have been used for a whole bunch of bogus bullshit.
Yeah.
And I think it needs to end. And once Doge is done doing, I mean, they may never be done. I think extent of the work, but once they're done going through everything, and just imagine all the money we're going to be saving. Oh, and I truly believe that President Trump and Elon Musk will use that money to help America.
Well,
Like President Trump doesn't even collect a salary. At least he didn't during his first term, and I haven't checked this term, but I'm assuming he's probably donating his salary to the veterans again, like he did during his first term. And so,
well, I think, I don't know. It seems like people are starting to acclimate to the momentum of this organization. So, and administration. So that's a good thing. And
I don't think they're beginning to acclimate to the momentum. I love the momentum, but the liberals, I know their heads are about to explode. They're just beside themselves because of the momentum, I think.
Well,
Yeah, you're right.
But we know how that feels, right? I mean, we do,
yeah.
and that's the one thing I can say, because I was pretty flabbergasted when Joe Biden was installed.
Right.
So I you know,
and Trump has to undo all this terrible shit he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get into this mess in one day, so it's gonna take a while to get out of it too.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, the one thing I can say really quick though is,
what?
Can you guys believe Hamas? You know, they released hostages that weren't even who they said they were releasing. It's like, what are you doing, Hamas? What are you doing? Like,
I haven't been following that. What do you mean?
Yeah, I haven't been following
people
at all.
that aren't really the captives. Is that what you mean?
No. They were the hostages.
Wrap this up.
And I don't know what they have to change, but it's like, okay, Hamas, can you not tell by now that Israel is serious? They are serious. Like, you don't want to start lying. They will wipe you off the face of the earth.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But apparently we're about to go into phase 2 though of hostage releases. I guess that's what we're aiming for. So
yeah. Okay.
Okay, I guess we'll find out next time.
Yeah, guys, do you want to wrap this up? Because
Yeah,
my
that's
dinner's
fine.
been waiting since 6 o'clock.
Yeah, we've been past done.
Your dinner, mine too.
Yeah, my dinner got ready right about the time we went on the air. So
yeah, I gotcha. Yeah,
and I heard somebody say wrap this up, and I think that's a good idea.
Okay, I'm open to that. So
okay, if you guys don't have anything else to add, then let's wrap up the show.
We can't keep you guys hungry.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this evening. Please be sure you are subscribed to us here on Becca's World, and please be sure to tell your friends about us. That's a wrap, y'all. Peace out. Bye.
Thank you for watching Becca's World. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel.